Please make sure you read and fully understand this disclaimer before continuing with this practice. Coming onto your mats in a tabletop position, ensuring that your knees are underneath your hips, wrists are underneath your shoulders, spreading the fingertips far and wide apart. Coming into cow pose, dipping through the belly, tailbone up toward the ceiling. Coming into cat pose, doming through the back, squeezing the belly button into the spine. Inhale, heart opens forward. Exhale, doming through the back, pushing the ground away with the hands. Inhale to exhale. So feeling the movement of the spine as we engage and lengthen the opposite sides. Tucking the toes under, pushing the ground away. Knees lifting off just 1 inch here, engaging through the core, squeezing through the belly, warming up, building heat in that area, and coming into your first downward facing dog. So pedaling out through the feet here, noticing how the hamstrings feel, pushing the hands into the mat. Inhale, coming onto your tippy toes, bending through the knees and walking the feet up toward the mat. Slowly rolling up, vertebrae at a time, engaging through the core. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, palms together into heart center. Taking a few breaths here, arriving onto our mats. Notice how the body feels today. Taking nice deep belly breaths, as much oxygen into the cells, into the muscles as possible. And then releasing. Inhale, taking the palms up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands drawing to heart center. Inhaling, feeling that beautiful energy. So we're taking in that energy as we inhale, exhaling, bringing it back to our heart space. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, really opening up through the side body. Exhaling, folding forward into Uttanasana. And slowly rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, lengthening the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. So taking this beautiful movement as we warm up, continue to warm up through the body for our practice today. And really come into your body. So yoga is all about that connection of mind, body and soul all meeting together in one place. So noticing what the body is doing in every single pose, coming into halfway lift, and then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze is down, exhaling, folding forward, keeping bent knees here as well, protecting the hamstrings. Inhale, shoulders back and down, away from the ears. And exhaling, folding forward. Stepping the right leg back, coming into low lunge. Releasing the knee onto the mat, untucking the toes. Rolling the shoulder blades back and down, away from the ears. Engaging through the core. So notice if that core is just relaxed and dumping onto that left thigh. It's okay to touch. Mine touches. It's just about making sure that it's engaged here. Your next exhale, releasing the palms onto the mat, stepping back into low plank. So, or modified plank, I should say, knees onto the floor. Engaging through the belly. So building heat here. And then on your exhale breath, we're going to lower down onto the mat. Your next inhale, coming into baby cobra, lifting up the chest off of the mat. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, so making sure that the legs are switched on as we come up to cobra. Exhale, releasing down. Notice if the core is switched on as well. We want to protect the lower back, no dumping into the lower back here. And then coming back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet here. Noticing how the hamstrings feel. I was going to say this morning, but you could be doing this at any time of the day. Shoulders are away from the ears. Inhale, coming onto your tippy toes. Slowly walking the feet up toward the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Feeling that beautiful sensation of touch as we slowly roll up. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, bending through the knees. We want to protect the hamstrings here. No strain here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. This time, taking the left leg back into lunge. Releasing the knee. Untucking the toes on the left side. So ensuring that your right knee is directly above the ankle, the right ankle. So making any adjustments here, making sure that alignment's nice and straight. And opening up through the chest. So notice if you're caving through the chest here, we want to make that nice and open here. Exhale, releasing the hands onto the mat. Taking the knee, the foot back. Coming into modified plank. Notice what the breath is doing here. On your next exhale, lowering all the way down, elbows drawn into the side. Inhale, lifting the chest, coming into cobra. Exhale, melting forward. Inhale, so we're just coming slightly off. We're coming into baby cobra, not full cobra. Making sure that we're warming up through the body and always being mindful with our movements. And pushing back up into Balasana, child's pose. Taking a moment here before our practice really intensifies. We're doing a strong warrior sequence today. Making sure that we're taking the time to be completely present within our bodies. So taking the hands over toward the right hand side, feeling that left side of the body opening up. Coming back to center. Centering breath. Before coming over onto the left hand side. So you should feel that nice stretch from the right hip all the way up to the right little finger. And then coming back to center, pushing all the way back up into downward facing dog. Again, pedaling out through the feet. Inhale, coming onto the tippy toes, slowly walking the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time, engaging through the core. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale. To exhale, folding forward. One more time, one more halfway lift. So we're really opening up through the hamstrings in halfway lift. Stepping the right leg back. You can at any stage release the knee onto the mat. In this pose I'm not going to though. Taking the right hand onto the mat, left hand onto the sacral, lower part of the spine. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twist the chest toward the left hand side. Option here is to release that left hand up. Maybe taking the gaze up toward the ceiling. Your next exhale, windmilling that left hand back onto the mat, stepping the left leg back into high plank. Staying in plank, You can lower your knees here, drawing the belly button into spine, lowering down halfway, coming back up, then lowering all the way down, coming into cobra, then downward facing dog. If you wish to take it further though, throughout the rest of the practice, you can stay off of your knees, coming forward onto the balls, lowering down halfway, chaturanga, coming back up, then upward facing dog. So thighs off of the mat, and then exhale, coming into downward facing dog. Now know that I missed that chaturanga push up there, so just making sure that you're incorporating it there. Coming onto your tippy toes, walking the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Feeling that beautiful sensation of touch as we rise up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, folding forward straight away, Uttanasana. Inhale, heart opening forward, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping the left leg back this time. Again, always an option to release. I'm not going to though. Placing that left palm onto the mat, right hand onto the lower part of the spine. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head first. As we exhale, twist the chest toward the left hand side. Option here to release that right hand up toward the ceiling. Checking in with the breath here, the quality, the depth, the length. On your next exhale breath, windmilling that right hand down, stepping the right foot back into high plank. Now it's up to you what you want to do here, either releasing the knees, doing a chaturanga push-up, or you can come down halfway, chaturanga push-up, making sure that core is engaged though. Then lowering down halfway, inhale, upward facing dog, pushing the front tops of the feet into the mat. Heart opening, exhale, coming back into downward facing dog. Checking in with the breath here. Inhale, coming onto your tippy toes, walking the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Notice how the hamstrings feel as we slowly rolling all the way up. Inhale, up. Exhale, drawing that energy back into your heart space. Taking a centering breath. On your next inhale, sweeping the hands up, bending through the knees. They can be hip distance apart or big toes together, squeezing into one another. Raising the hands up or having the hands into heart center. Making sure that you can see your big toes. You're not putting any pressure on your toes. Sinking down here into your lunge. Into Utkatasana, chair pose. On your next exhale breath, folding forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing down. Stepping the right leg back, followed by the left. And taking your option here, whether it's to release the knees or doing that chaturanga push-up. Elbows drawn into the side. Inhale, upward facing dog, opening up through the chest. Exhale, squeezing through the core, coming back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg sweeps up, three-legged dog. Exhale, curling knee to nose, squeezing through the belly, engaging through the core. Inhale, sweeping the right leg back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, drawing knee to nose. Inhale, sweeping that one more time. Exhale, drawing knee to nose, hovering here before stepping the foot in between the hands. It's okay if it doesn't get there. Creeping it forward. Inhale, coming into crescent lunge. Making sure that you've got your biceps beside your ears, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. On your exhale breath, releasing the left heel onto the mat, coming into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Nice strong straight arms, shoulders are away from the ears. Nice bend in that front leg. Flipping the front palm, reversing the warrior, taking the left hand to the left leg. Right hand comes up toward the ceiling, gaze up toward the hand. On your next exhale breath, windmilling the hands down onto the mat, stepping that right leg back. Taking your flow options here. Making sure that you're holding every single asana, every single transition with integrity. And then making your way back up into downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to center. Inhale, tippy toes, walking the feet towards the hands. Inhale, nice straight back. Exhale, folding forward, rising up, core engaged. Exhale, hands to heart center, centering breath. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Again, making sure that navel and lower ribs want to meet. So tucking in through the tailbone. Nice strong arms here, nice deep belly breaths. Building warmth in the legs. On your next exhale breath, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Stepping the left leg back, followed by the right this time. Taking your flow, making sure that those elbows are grazing through the side body. So activating through the triceps as we push up, chaturanga push up. Then taking cobra or upward facing dog, whatever suits you today in your own practice. And meeting back in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises, squaring off through the hips. Exhale, drawing knee to nose, hover. Inhale, sweeping the leg back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, one last time. Exhaling, hovering here, really squeezing through the belly, stepping that foot in between the hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. So tucking the tailbone under here, pushing the feet into the ground, high on the ball of the back foot, the right foot. On your next exhale breath, swiveling that right heel down onto the mat, coming into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Just checking your alignment here, making sure that you can see your left big toe on the inside of your left knee. Reversing the warrior here. Nice deep breaths, checking in with the quality of the breath. On the next exhale, windmilling the hand down, coming into plank, and taking your chaturanga, however that looks for you today. Making sure that you're squeezing on through the core and transitioning with grace, with integrity, and really coming into your practice, so being completely present in your practice today. Taking centering breaths, Vipassana. Walking the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rising all the way up. And exhale, drawing our hands back to our heart center. Vipassana, centering breath. Coming into one breath, one movement now with that flow. Your next inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forward. Taking the right leg back, followed by the left. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, lowering down halfway. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, lowering all the way down or halfway. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, rising the right leg up. Exhale, drawing knee to nose, hovering, stepping the foot forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, Virabhadrasana, Warrior 2. Inhale, flipping the palm, reversing the warrior. Exhale, windmilling the hands down onto the mat. Taking that right leg back. Exhale, lowering down halfway, chaturanga. Coming down again. Cobra on your inhale or upward facing dog. Exhale, pushing back into downward facing dog, core is engaged. Centering breath. left side now. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, stepping the foot forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reversing the warrior. Exhale, windmilling the hands down. Inhale, taking that left leg back. Exhale, lowering down halfway. Inhale, back up. Exhale, all the way down, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, core is engaged. Floating back into Balasana, child's pose. Taking a moment here to check in with the body, the breath. Notice how the heart feels. And taking a moment here to reflect. Maybe there is something that has come up in your practice today. Yoga is an opportunity where we can learn about ourselves through ourselves. Such a beautiful practice to be able to come into us. And slowly coming back up, coming onto the sit bones, and then extending the feet out. Soles of the feet onto the mat, bent knees, arms extending out, slowly releasing the back onto the mat. Core is engaged, so strengthening through the core, releasing all the way down onto your mat. Bending through the knees, soles of the feet onto the mat. Taking the right ankle across on top of the left knee. So letting that right hip open, then threading the arms through, either interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh, or if it feels good and right for you, maybe interlacing the fingers across the front of the left shin. Just making sure that you're not straining here, so be mindful of the neck, the head, and also the back. No option out of those two are better than the other. So sometimes we can get into this game of competition with ourselves that one is more advanced than the other. Yoga is about connection. Releasing both of the feet now down onto the mat and switching sides now. So taking that left ankle across the right knee, threading the arm through. Noticing what feels good and right for you. Notice the chatter of the mind now. So, where is it at? Being able to observe what is going on within the mind. Having that opportunity to check in. And then slowly releasing the left foot down onto the mat. Taking the feet as wide as the mat, keeping the knees bent and just swishing the knees from side to side. This feels beautiful, just a slight opening of the side body and releasing through the spine, through the hips. And taking your left knee into your left hand, right knee into your right hand, and taking some circles. So taking the knees together toward you, then out toward the side, then back together again. You can connect the breath with this movement. As the knees come toward your body, it's an inhale. As you push away from the body, it's an exhale. And taking that time to be aware of how the back of the body feels, the spine onto the mat. That beautiful compression, massage of the lower part of the spine. Coming into Vipariti Karani now. And so you can have the legs, feet up. Now if this becomes too much, You can use props here by placing a blanket underneath the sit bones, lower part of the spine, or you can take the legs up against the wall, but we're just doing a short release today. It's one of my favorites though. Then releasing, coming down into your final meditation, your Shavasana pose. And this is a time to let all of the practice integrate. So having that opportunity for it to settle into our bodies. And Shavasana is still such an important pose, and I don't think it gets enough credit for what it is. So it's a meditation, a beautiful deep meditation. If you find that the mind starts to wander, bring it back to the breath, observing the breath moving in and out of the body. An opportunity to bring more stillness to the mind. I'll mind the time and guide you back. Slowly start to bring awareness back into your body, bringing movement to your fingers and your toes, maybe stretching the arms up above the head, point and flex the feet, maybe drawing the knees into the chest. Just do what feels good and right for you. As you slowly start to incorporate some movement back into the body, maybe rocking from side to side, massaging through the lower back, rolling over to your side, taking a few more moments here to enjoy the rest, relaxation. In your own time, slowly making your way back up into a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana. And together, let's take a deep inhale breath, reaching the arms up above the head. Exhale, drawing them back down. Inhale, opening up, extending, expanding through the rib cage. Exhale, contracting. Inhale, one more deep breath. Exhale, drawing the hands back to heart center and softly closing over the eyes. Taking a moment to reflect on your practice today. Notice what came up. And as I said before, yoga is a practice. We have the opportunity to learn about ourselves through ourselves. Namaste.